This lesson, we will be creating a ScrollView app that allows us to scroll up and down and add a button that takes us all the way to down and up. I'll just show you the app now. So this is the app that we'll be building. It has the scroll to top and scroll to bottom. This is built on SwiftUI, by the way. So this is the app that we'll be building. I have a bad habit of saying a lot, so I apologize for that, and I'll try and stop that. Sorry again. So first we're going to create a new project with Swift as the main language, and we're going to of course choose the interface as SwiftUI. I think you've already done that. So once you've done that, my student have you already created a new project?
Yeah.
Okay, so once the new project is created, we're gonna go to our content view, and we are going to add in a navigation view and a scroll view inside. So add in the navigation view and the scroll view. Let me create a new file actually, so we go through it. Oops, cancel. SwiftUI view. Swift. I'm creating this new file just so we, as we go through it, we'll build it together. So delete the text and create the navigation view and scroll view. Oops. And then we're gonna add in our scroll view. Before we add in our scroll view, we can also add in the scroll. We should actually add in the ScrollView Reader, but we can actually. And after we've added our scroll view, we're going to add a for each loop to say around just say 50. It doesn't have to be 50, it can be 10. And then we're going to add in our label with title and icon. So we're going to add in this part here. We'll add in our buttons and everything. We'll add in our buttons and everything after it. So ideally I should be printing it out, but I don't want to go back and forth. So for each, say 50, and then we create our ID, the self, and then num in we're going to create a H stack horizontal, so it's horizontal. Label, we're going to add in our title, oh, already done it. So let's call the title text position. Num. The reason why I say my student, because I wasn't sure if you're okay with me using your name, so that's why I said student. So that's why I said student. But for you guys watching on YouTube, I do classes every week in addition to my YouTube videos, and these classes are just for like beginners, where we build apps together and do some coding together, as well as talk about general tech stuff. So back to the app. So we're going to add in our image, system name. The image that I'm going to put now is just going to be a house, but you can add in a different icon if you'd like, but this should be just fine. I'm just gonna put this to this side so it's easier to, it just looks a bit more tidy. And then after we do that, we're going to image externus argument. Fix. Okay, it turns out we don't actually need that. That was weird. Oh, it's because we're repeating it actually. So then we're gonna add in our spacer. Let me just put this over here so it looks more tidy. And then we're gonna add in our spacer just to create space between them. And then we add in our ID, which is num. So, and then we add in our padding. So let me just delete that. And what you should see is what was just on a moment ago. That's weird. Let's see what I did wrong. Can you tell me what I did wrong? Okay. Okay, let me. Okay, I've added too many things like that. Sorry. Hold on now. So yeah, sorry with the curly braces. So we've added this now. Now we're gonna add in our but this isn't very useful, is it? Well, we can scroll up and down, which is the main feature of that, but we would like to add in our buttons, wouldn't we? So we're next gonna add in our buttons. because whilst this is the main feature of the app, we would like to add in other features. So this is where the buttons come in, and our ScrollView Reader comes in. I'm just going to make some space so it looks a bit easier. And we're alignment leading, so we're just going to add in some code I forgot to add. Which is the VStack. And we're going to put the alignment leading, so it helps with our alignment and positioning. So it creates an instance with the given spacing and horizontal alignment. And I'm just gonna delete this and add in another one. Excuse leadings. Oops, leading. Okay. Now we're gonna add in our buttons. So we're gonna add in two buttons, one for us to go up and one for us to go down. To do that, we're gonna but before that, we add in our ScrollView Reader. So we add in this section here. So that's just below the ScrollView navigation. So ScrollView Reader, a view that provides programmatic scrolling by working with a proxy. ScrollView Reader, and we're gonna have to change this. We're gonna have to add in our curly braces, but we'll do that later. So it's always important to put these in the right place, because you have to be pedantic with these things. Open and closing, and we're going to put ScrollView, and then in, and then hopefully there we go.
Can you please explain why do you need ScrollView Reader? Its main function?
Okay, so ScrollView Reader is a view that provides programmatic scrolling. It creates a ScrollView proxy to scroll the child views. It gives us access to a function called ScrollTo, which lets us make a view visible by scrolling to it. So this is where our buttons come in. So once we make our buttons, so for our buttons, what we do is when we click on it, what we're saying is once this button is clicked on, go to this scroll view. In this scroll view, go to this section here. So let's just add in this button. So once we so with the ScrollView Reader, the reason we add it is because this function allows us to go to a certain part of the app, or a certain part of the scroll view. So if we change it to say 29, it takes us to 29. And the reason we add it is because when we want to add in this function here, scroll to, we need this scroll view. So we're saying we use this function scroll view that allows us to go to a specific part of this section of the page of the scroll view, and our scroll to was moving to specifically this one, 29. So if you want to change it to number 19, takes us to number 19. That's why we need the ScrollView Reader, because that allows us to go to a specific function. So I've written it here in the PowerPoint. It's came with the release of iOS 14. It's a view that provides us to scroll to child views. It gives us access to a function called scroll to, which lets us make us a view visible by scrolling to it. So in other words, it allows us to use a function called scroll to, so that takes us to a specific part of the view. So we wouldn't be able to use the scroll to function without the scroll view. Without the ScrollView Reader. Now, the reason why I added an animation is because it looks better with an animation in my opinion. But we'll actually we'll build the second button. So we've got two buttons here, and we'll just build the second one, and we'll do that programmatically so we can go through it together. So we're going to create another button, and this button is going to take us to the top section, so we don't have to scroll all the way back. So we'll create a button, and that action is going to have an animation, simply because it looks better. This animation isn't required, by the way. It's just because for UI purposes, to make it look pretty. But this part, the scroll view part, that is needed. So scroll to, so this function allows us to go to a specific scroll. So we're going to go to specific one, such as 1. No, actually, I'll put it as 1. It doesn't matter if it's 0 or 1 or 2, but we're one near the top, so we're going to choose one that is to the top. Then we got in our anchor, so it's centered. Center, a point that's centered in the view, so we want it to be centered to the center. So, and then within our scroll view, we're going to well, we need to add in this part here, and then we're going to add a label just so it says we know what it does. And this our label is going to basically say we're going to scroll to the top, so we know what the button does is scroll to top. You can add it in without the animation, but once you add it in, you see it doesn't look as good. So scroll to bottom. Well, that doesn't actually scroll to the bottom. Let me change that. But scroll to bottom. Now you scroll to the top. So there, and we can use like this, you can cut down the numbers, but if you do, you need to remember to change this part. But basically, this is the ScrollView Reader App is practically finished. You can add in things like titles, for the page, but the main function is built. So scroll to the top, scroll to the bottom. You can change it to scroll to middle, and then you choose a number that will take you to the middle. So in this case, it will be like 25. Middle, 25. So scroll to the top. Now we're going to scroll to the middle. So it saves us from having to vertically do it. So what would be useful in an app, say you say something like scroll to number 5 or number 10, and then you click that button and it'll take you to number 5, number 10, and it will do things like that. Or scroll to this section here, or like scroll to the section of 20th century or 19th century if you're using a history app. So that's our app for today. We don't actually need this, to be honest, so I'm just going to delete it. But I create that file just to show, just so we can build it together. And that is our finished app. I'm going to stop recording, but please subscribe and leave a positive comment. If you have any questions, feel free to add it. And also I'll share the link to my Meetup group, and you're more than welcome to join. Thank you, and please come again.